Wholesale Hotline, where we cover everything to do with wholesale real estate. I'm Jamil Damji.
I'm Brent Daniels.
And I am Pace Morby.
And together we cover the most important parts of wholesale real estate.
Lead generation.
Conversion of sellers into contracts.
And dispositions. Guys, remember, when you're watching this show, do us a favor and squad up in the comments.
Make sure that you are liking and subscribing to the YouTube channels and in the Facebook group Wholesale Hotline.
Most important, we want to know we're doing a great job for you and helping you build your business. So go give us a review on iTunes and or Spotify.
So squad up and enjoy the show!
Welcome to Wholesale Hotline number 161.
Biatch.
This is absolutely exciting. I will tell you what, I don't care if you've done no deals in your real estate career or you've done 1,000, you're going to find something in the next 90 minutes that you can implement into your business. And we've got an exciting show today because we're all together.
What's up?
Yay!
What's up?
It is Brent Daniels. It is Pace Morby. It is Jamil Damji. And we are excited. We've got our live studio audience here again. And the energy is fantastic. And we're going to bring in people from the audience. And we're going to be talking about their business. We're going to be interviewing them. We're going to be talking about what is working right now in 2023 to go out there and find some deals, because we've got some incredible people out here that are doing incredible deals.
Yeah, I am excited about this because the different modalities of how everybody's doing business in here. We've got people going direct to seller.
Yep.
We have people going direct to agent.
Yep.
We have people doing creative finance. We have people doing cash deals. We have people doing novations. I mean, this little, we've got a statistical sample of the greatest lead generation techniques in the wholesale game. And we've got incredible practitioners of each of those styles in our audience today. So it's going to be really fun to hear how agent outreach dominates everything.
Yeah. Except for if you want to do really tiny deals, agent outreach is where you go. Every 10 deals equals one direct to seller. It's amazing. You could do 100 or you could do 10.
He's right. He's right. No, listen.
This is great.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful because there's so many ways to do this business. There are so many ways to do this business. Yeah. You can go direct to seller, and we know that going direct to seller leads to juicy, fat, huge assignment fees, big checks. That's why Brent Daniels has a neon sign in his office that says ugly houses, big biceps.
That's right.
You don't get big biceps unless you've sold and bought many ugly houses.
That's it.
Right? Those big checks, those big assignment fees come from direct to seller approaches, and it's phenomenal what you've been able to accomplish here. Pace, I know that you guys are doing some pretty incredible things in the world of creative finance. And as the market continues to shift, as banks continue to shut down, as lending gets tighter and tighter and tighter, the world of creative finance is becoming so much more not only accepted, but it's becoming necessary for people to be doing business. You have to understand how to do creative finance, seller finance, guys, ejecting the bank from your deal. It is absolutely necessary, subject to I believe the next, they said that an asset class that emerged in 2010 was the single family home, right? Prior to 2010, it wasn't an asset class. Do you want to know what my prediction is for the next asset class? The 2 to 4% mortgage.
Yeah.
The 2 to 4% mortgage is going to become the next asset class. And people are going
What do you mean by that?
I mean that they're going to look at these 2 to 4% mortgages that are, if you can get them subject to, they're going to say, yes, okay, look, the equity comes, the equity goes, the cash flow is flow rhyme. I love it. But for a while there, it bugged me because I thought, man, equity is important because I'm a cash guy.
Yeah.
Equity is important. But what about the equity, or what about the value that's inherent in a 2% mortgage? When you spread a 2% mortgage out over 30 years, and you compare that to a 6% mortgage over 30 years, and you take the total amount of money that was spent on a 6% mortgage over 30 years versus a 2% mortgage over 30 years, and you see the hundreds of thousands of extra dollars that you spend on those 4 points, then have you really overpaid? Even if you overpaid by $100,000, did you really overpay? Because the life of your mortgage, you're paying $300,000 more for those extra points.
I feel like I'm watching one of my own YouTube videos right now. This is great.
I'm just thinking about it, right?
I'm like, this is great.
I think it's going to become. I think it's going to become an asset class.
Yeah.
I truly believe that, and I think that folks like Pace and people who are understanding how to collect and package these kinds of bundle these leverage notes. Like, I think what's going to happen is you're going to get people who are going to take 10 houses or 20 houses or 40 houses that have these really great interest rate notes. They're going to package them up and they're going to sell them. The person who solves the due on sale problem is going to be able to sell that to private equity.
Yeah.
That's the only piece of the puzzle right now that
I've solved it.
That's it. As soon as that gets solved in a way that's
and literally the last week.
That's it. That's the piece of the puzzle.
What is the due on sale clause?
The due on sale clause is, let's say that I go to somebody in the audience and I say, can I take over your car payment?
Right.
And they go, yeah, the car's not worth anything. I want something else. If I tried to sell the car right now, I'd probably have to lose money on this car. So just take over my payment. So that's called buying a car subject to. If the bank finds out, that has those car payments that we transferred ownership, they can go to the new owner and go, we demand that you pay us off this whole entire loan. We demand that this debt is due upon the sale that you guys had prior, the due on sale clause. And they can say, we're going to foreclose on you and we're going to take that property back. And that is the due on sale clause. So the reason why agents or brokers stay away from real estate regarding subject to is because they all are afraid of the boogeyman, the due on sale clause, which we've done thousands of transactions. I've had the due on sale clause called on me 5 times. We've handled it all 5 times. I've never met anybody lose a house over the due on sale clause, but for some reason it's this big boogeyman.
Well, the reason it's the boogeyman is because of the standards and practices. When you're talking about large private equity companies, right? They got all they are is a collection of attorneys. Collection of attorneys and wallets. That's what I think of private equity, right? A big conglomerate of attorneys and wallets. And so the attorneys, the wallets are there saying spend, spend, spend. The attorneys are there saying wait, wait, wait. So the attorneys are going to look at and they're going to read every line of the mortgage and they're going to say, this right here is the Trojan horse. This is where our $2 billion investment in this package of houses is going to kick us in the balls. Because if we bought thousands of notes, because that's the next asset class, and these all get called at one time, we're insolvent.
Right.
So it creates a vulnerability for them, right? So you think about it in that, and why wouldn't a bank? If a bank knows that one private equity firm owns 10,000 houses, and of those 10, this one lender has 2,000 of them. Say it's like a big bank like Wells, okay? Wells knows that 2,000 of the 10,000 that this one private equity company is a Wells note. And they also know that they're at 2 to 4%. Wells is not stupid. They're going to say, hey, this is an easy one for us. Let's target this big banana and let's get him and this company, and we'll get all these refied into 7% mortgages. Right. They're going to do what's best for their shareholders. Yeah. So what Pace is saying is by solving the due on sale boogeyman, private equity will sit at the table. But until that boogeyman is not in the room, they won't.
Can't they just buy it as a mortgage-backed security?
They could. Here's a handful of ways they could do it. We don't need to go into today because I got to bounce for a thing for 10 minutes and you guys got to interview some people. Yeah. We should do an entire episode on the due on sale clause.
Love it.
And I'll bring my attorney and I'll show you guys how we solved it. 100% awesome. Solution provided, 100%.
Love it.
It's not due on sale clause insurance. It's actually involving Fannie and Freddie. And it's utilizing legislation that's already existing and a handful of attorneys and a couple of them that helped write the Dodd-Frank Act. We have solved the problem. It is unbelievable. Super excited about it. We're like ready to talk about it, so we could do a whole podcast just on the due on sale clause.
I think it's an interesting, like, why does it even matter if the payment's being made, right? I mean,
Loan origination fees, bro.
Okay,
Well,
I'm
no,
That's
I
why it
know.
matters.
Okay, I'm leaving.
yeah,
I love you guys.
Bye.
I understand
I'll be back
that,
in
but
15
like,
minutes.
wait,
Are
if
you
so-
guys going to interview?
Yeah, we're
who
going
do you
to
want to
bring
interview
Chris
to?
up first.
Chris. So
Yeah.
here's what we originally thought about, guys. Everybody in the audience. I sent a text to Jamil and Brent this morning. I said, look, Brent's got this event coming up that we're all super excited about. Where do they go to the event?
That is growthsummit2023.com.
Okay,
Growth Summit. We'll put it in
2023.com.
the notes here. growthsummit2023.com.
Okay, I'm hanging out for all the days.
Yes.
Jamil's hanging out for all the days. I'm
Nice.
giving some of my time away to Vina Jetty. She's going to come out, stay at the guest house.
Awesome.
Okay, Jamil and I and Brent, we're all texting this morning. I said, you know what we should do is we should show the audience what it feels like to have a collective group of people that all know what the hell they're doing, working together and creating an energy inside of a box, right? And showing them that they need to get out to growthsummit2023.com. And why don't we do this today? Why don't we have a Subto student, an Astro student, and a TTP student making calls today on Wholesale Hotline Live? We got here, and then mechanically, it requires some more equipment that we don't have right now.
Right.
So we decided instead today, we'll do that in a couple of weeks, but instead today, what we're going to do is we're going to bring on Chris and a handful of other people and interview them about what they're working on in the market, what are they seeing, and you guys are going to bring Chris Jean Baptiste. His Instagram name is Chris JB_REI. Chris JB, that is Chris Jean Baptiste _REI. I'm going to go. I'll be back in 15 minutes.
He's a TTP Subto hybrid. Get up here. Come on.
What's up, bro? Good to see you again.
We've got the
You
bicep
got the-
sandwich
the
right here,
handheld.
Jamil. You ready for this? This bicep sandwich, bro.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
What's up?
Damn.
When did you
if I was
start?
only a lady or gay, I guess.
You've been a lady in an ad, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm fluid.
Man, I would say I started 2019 seriously,
Yep.
on and off. Obviously, like most newbies, trying it out, it not working, expecting to get results. You fall into the whole marketing aspect of how easy this business is. It's simple. It's not easy. And then joined TTP. Afterwards, great value in that. Learned how to cold call. Learned how to go direct to seller. Great traction in that. And then I'm a Subto student now. So like Brent said, I'm a Subto TTP hybrid.
Awesome. What have you been working on in Subto that you're super excited about right now?
Well, recently I used to solely focus on direct to seller.
Yep.
And then ever since the shift in the market, I kind of pivoted towards direct to agent.
Yep.
And I found a lot of success in that. First of all, not to mention it just cut my overhead dramatically.
Absolutely.
Right.
I've been saying it for years.
Saving on skip tracing.
Yep.
Saving on a lot of stuff. So I'm really, shaved everything. And now I'm just focused on direct to seller. And I find a lot of success with it. Honestly,
Are you buying creative deals direct to agent, or is that your primary focus? Are you doing cash transactions, a mix of both?
Not so much with cash, more so creative.
So let's walk me through it. I want to do a role play because we're not going to get on the calls, but let's just why don't we act it out, right? Because I think people want to see what does this look like, because if I'm brand new and I want to hear what is an opening line from a creative finance standpoint with a real estate agent, how does it sound? For instance, right? My Astro flipping community, they know how to approach an agent on a cash deal. They know how to approach an agent, find alignment, and then make an agent understand why whatever price they've got listed right now is out to lunch.
Right.
So they have been trained to look for motivation in the listing. They've been trained to understand the love language of the agent, right? To understand how do I find alignment with the agent, not to get combative, but to get alignment, right?
Correct.
And then afterwards, they've understood how do we present our number in a way that doesn't get us rejected, right?
Right.
And so when we're looking at that, on average, my Astro flipping community will get a 10% acceptance rate on their approaches to agents for cash transactions for on-market deals that are 30, 60, 90, 120 days on market, okay? So that's essentially the game plan for us as wholesalers.
Right.
I would like to hear how does Jean Baptiste, how do you approach an agent and pitch terms out the gate? What does that sound like? Let's pretend I'm a realtor and you're calling me.
Well, first, let me set the canvas real quick. I have more of a shoot from the hip approach.
Okay.
I just shoot straight. I essentially let the agents know I see what they see on their end. I understand that the seller has little to no equity. They're not going to make any money.
Well, let's just talk it through.
Let's
just talk it through. Hello?
Hi, is this Jamil?
It is.
Hey, Jamil, how you doing? My name is Chris. I'm calling about your listing on 123 Main Street.
Great house. Great house. You should definitely take a look at it. What's going on? I've actually had people in and out of there all weekend, but no bites. It's still available.
Okay, so no hard offers, just more inquiries?
More inquiries, looky-loos. The market's doing what it's, doing right now, but I'm confident. I feel like things are looking up. I have high hopes.
Okay. Well, I'm calling more from an investment standpoint, not somebody
It's a great investment, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not going to occupy it.
Okay.
So first, what are your thoughts from an investment standpoint? Does the area make sense? Is it good rent rates? Like, how do you feel about that?
Well, I think this specific house, it's in a good area. I think that there's great school districts. So the one thing that I've had people call about and they've asked repeatedly is, does this fit this one school district? And it does. It's the Madison School District here in Phoenix, Arizona. It's where everybody wants to send their children, just because in a public school, you get high quality education without having to pay private or private school education tuition. So this is a fantastic neighborhood for a rental. I do think, though, that from a rental perspective, it's going to be tough to find, because this price point's a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Right. And so I just don't know that you're going to find a lot of renters at this $4,500 to $5,000 a month range, which is where this house is going to be sitting in. And so I don't necessarily think this is a good cash flow rental, but you're in the business. I'll let you decide.
Well, actually, it's interesting that you say that, because I actually bought a house 3 blocks away. Similar situation where they had little to no equity. They lived in a house for 3 months.
How do you know my clients don't have any equity? Just wondering.
Well, I have different online data providers,
Okay. So you did a little bit of homework. Got it. Okay.
Always. Yeah.
All right.
And so essentially they had to relocate for a job transfer after 3 months. And so I worked out a situation with the seller where I said, the agent, where I said, look, if I could give the seller some money in their pocket, I could make sure your commissions are covered. Would they be open to letting me take over the existing payments on the house?
Oh, like an assumable mortgage?
Well, not necessarily an assumption, more so taking it subject to where the loan stays in the seller's name and we make the payments on their behalf every single month.
It sounds a little bit risky.
Yeah, we safeguard the sellers. There's ways where we make sure that we protect their credit. We understand all the natural concerns. What if you default, right? What happens to due on sale? And we can definitely schedule another call and I can walk you through how that process works.
Wait, you're telling me that you can, because the sellers were going to have to come to the table with a little bit of money to pay me. You're telling me that you can come in, especially if we don't accept list price, because right now you said it yourself, there isn't a lot of equity in the deal. The sellers really do need to sell because they're in a relocation situation right now, and unfortunately I'm either going to have to cut my commission or they're going to come to the table and pay me if I do a good job and get them something close to list price. Are you telling me that you could bring an offer to the table that'll pay me completely in commission?
Yeah, absolutely. We can make sure your commissions is covered. Don't hold me. I'll see. I'll have to speak to my partners and see what we could do as far as giving the seller some cash. But if they're open to talking about more of a terms type of situation, I would love to present an offer that would make sense for all parties.
I can't speak for my client. It's just impossible. But I do have a duty to tell them what you've said, and so I'm going to do that. I'm going to have a conversation with them in the next little while. I'm going to tell them that we have a potential buyer that would like to take this in a creative fashion. I don't think I understand the nuances that I'd need to really communicate this well to them. Sure. So I'd likely need you on a call. Are you available to help communicate this to my client?
100%. I'll definitely hop on a call. I'll do you one better. I'll put together an email. I'll lay out all the terms. I'll even schedule a recording that I actually did with another agent and a seller going over this.
Oh, you've done this before?
100%.
Can you send me 5 examples of the houses that you've done?
100%.
Can I talk to anybody that you've bought from that can tell me how this experience has been for them?
Absolutely. I'll include all of that.
Before I talk to my client, would you mind if I talk to one?
Yeah, of course. I'll send you over that information right now.
Sounds good.
There you go.
Boom.
And it happens like that.
Yep.
I'm telling you, I'm being honest. It
Yep.
really
That's
does
great.
happen.
Bring
like
it
that.
up. Give it up for him.
Very good. I mean, guys, this is and look, when you're role playing, guys, don't be a dick, right? You're not trying to get on here and just be rude to the person and stonewall them. That's not how conversations go. And when you do talk to an agent or a seller or somebody that's just complete moron, get off the call.
Yeah.
But in reality, when you're in a real conversation like what we just had here, this is how it goes. It's a volley match. Right. You're talking to me, I'm talking to you, you're talking to me, I'm talking to you. We're listening, we're ingesting, we're responding, and this is how it goes. And people don't get combative, they don't get rude. They just communicate. So you did a great job. I think you did a phenomenal job on that. So that's a great, and you went right to it, right?
Yeah, that's usually my style. And I'll say that the biggest difference I've found in direct to seller versus direct to agent is that with direct to seller, obviously a lot has to be on rapport. Obviously you have to go through all those steps. But with direct to agent, we already know they're motivated. It's listed for sale.
Timeline's already done.
Yeah, timeline's already
That's
done.
huge.
So you can just go straight into negotiations. At least that's what I've found. And, you know, it's not so much based on rapport. This definitely comes down to the personality type of the agent you're dealing with.
Sure.
But for the most part, yeah, that's pretty much it. Straightforward.
And, you know, I'm reading the comments, people saying, hey, if agents really talk like that, I'd be a billionaire. Here's the thing, guys. Look, this is a role play, right? I was trying to ask the necessary questions. Yeah, was I a little easier to talk to? Why not? Why shouldn't I
100%.
be? I think.
Oh, I thought you were way harder.
Yeah, well, okay.
Oh, I thought you were giving it to him way too much.
I mean,
5 people to call. That's never happened.
Well, why not?
You know what I mean?
Why
like, give
not?
me 5 people that you've done. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
From
But he had
real
it.
life,
Yeah.
I know.
No way.
But from real life, I mean, the conversations go a lot. In my experience, a lot smoother than them wanting all of your resume of
100%.
deals done.
But
type
it could
of thing.
happen.
It could
happen,
especially in Central Phoenix, where where your mind was at.
But then also you got to keep in mind, if the property is listed longer than 90 days,
right?
There's motivation.
There's motivation both from the agent's perspective and the seller's
So
perspective.
3 things that I noticed in there. Number 1, active listening. Sure. Active listening.
Yeah.
He's not just, see, right? Like that.
Yeah.
That is so critical right there, because if you were just on the phone and you are not responding with some sort of sounds that makes you involved in the conversation, it feels like an interrogation when you're asking somebody the questions over and over and over. Also, you were asking questions. You responded by answering the question and asking a question.
Back,
That's how you get the conversation
Conversation
back where you want it to be, and not just constantly on your back foot where you feel like you're going to slide at any moment. They could throw something at you.
And I'll give you one, because even with Kevin, we were like making calls earlier today.
Yeah.
And I did something I don't normally do. I called a listing where the property was listed 5 days ago.
Yeah.
So it's pretty early. I contact the agent. I'm calling about this listing, and I pitched the creative out the gate. Look, and she was like, well, it's too early. And I'm like, well, what do you mean it's too early?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, well, I listed this 5 days ago. And I'm like, so what? Based on where you're listed at and what they owe on their mortgage, they're not going to make any money. So why are we waiting? If I could present an offer where I could potentially put money in your seller's pocket, save them from coming out, cover your commissions and take over their payments, what are we waiting for? The purpose of listing is to sell, and I'm a buyer on the phone right now. And immediately she said, okay, so what are you thinking?
Yeah.
Just like that, it happens.
Well, it's also confirming and approving. You're not arguing.
No.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to argue, you're going to add friction. Friction is going to just totally, what do you call it? Alignment?
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
You're not going to be aligned if you're causing friction in those conversations all the time by like, oh, why is it too early?
No.
You tell me why. Is it? You know what I mean? You're
Right.
like, well, let's talk through this. Let's you're right. It is early, but let's
figure this out.
Let's talk about this a little bit.
And even then, you're planting
sooner.
a seed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you plant a seed on day 5 of a listing, then why, like you said, why wait? Why put your seller through that?
Right.
You know, everybody's got to get moving. Don't you want to get paid sooner? I'm telling you, one thing that I know a lot of realtors. I know a lot of realtors, and there's a lot of hurt right now.
Of course.
There's a lot of hurt out there for people who don't understand how to monetize the situation.
Right.
And these people, the real estate agents that you're talking to that are rude to you, when you call them, they're a handful. Okay. But what I'm telling you is that rudeness is not coming from a place of them not wanting to do business. It's coming from pain.
Right.
It's coming from the fact that they're frustrated. There's no money right now for them, and they don't know their way out of the fog.
Right.
Right. So you're the fog light. Be the fog light. Don't be fog.
There you go.
And don't be disappointed when people say no. Don't be disappointed if
No.
people are like, no, they need to be cashed out of this property.
Right.
They're willing to hold it or get cashed out. They do not want somebody to take over their loan. They don't want to do creative terms. You could plant the seed.
Right.
You could plant the seed to maybe that changes down the line at some point.
Right.
But we are deal finders, not deal creators.
Absolutely.
We're deal finders, not deal creators. You want to drive yourself crazy in this business? Go try to create deals that aren't there. Go try to create motivation and stress and problems that aren't there.
Right.
Our job is to solve problems.
Yeah.
To find those problems and to solve those problems, not to go out there and try to like shine a light on their problems and convince them that they should do something that they don't want to do.
Right.
That's how you get a lot of heartache and a lot of headache in this business, is if you try to convince and try to force people to do deals.
That was great, Chris. Thank you, bro.
Appreciate you,
Let's hear it for him. Yeah, let's go, guys. I want to keep this moving. Let's keep bringing people on here. Since we had a TTP Subto hybrid, we'll go over to an Astro student. Next, let's call up the Gross Bros.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Can I get an extra seat here? Bring one of you. Bring a chair up. Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Here, you guys can share a mic.
Cool. Sure. Thank you.
So I got to take that one, Brent. I'm going to let you take this one.
Okay.
Okay. So tell us who you guys are. I know who you are, but everybody else doesn't.
Oh, my name's Bo Gross. Judd's my brother, and I started wholesaling about a year ago.
Can you guys scoot this way just a little bit? Because okay. Just a little bit so that they can see you. There we go.
Yeah, so we signed up for Astro about a year ago, and first year I think we just did under 100,000 in cash deals.
Incredible.
And this year we're like past that, half of it.
Where do you live?
Like 5 minutes that way, actually.
Fantastic.
So it's only March, so you're already past 100K for the year. So what do you think you guys will end up doing for the year?
We're going for $1 million.
Hell yeah.
I'd say our goal's $1 million.
Let's go. Let's go. All right. So that nobody can accuse me of being biased. First, before we get into it, what do you guys primarily do for lead generation?
Direct to agent outreach, honestly.
Cash deals, creative deals,
Cash only.
cash only. So you're going for the deep discounts.
Yep.
Are you keeping everything fixing and flipping or wholesaling?
Blasting it.
Wholesaling. And what are you guys using for dispo?
I think it's something called
Oh
TV.
yeah, so that was my plug. All right, I'm done commercialing. Brent, take it away.
So you guys are calling agents, and how long have you guys been calling agents?
Coming up on a year now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And so you started right in with Astro?
Yeah, we were completely green. We didn't even know what like a title company did, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw one of Jamil's ads and I signed up for it. All of a sudden I got a call, and next thing you know, we're in Astro.
And how had you made 100,000? Was it just building the momentum in your guys' business that you've already closed that this year? I mean, let's talk about that first year, because I think it's really important to really stick through and stay focused in your first year. So what was that first year like? And now it's like exploding.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, which Jamil always hammers down in the calls to everybody, is just keep it super simple and consistent. Like hit the phones, track your KPIs, have the 50 conversations, because shit works.
50 conversations with agents. How often?
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
250 conversations a week.
Yeah. For little different cold calling, I'd say.
Yeah, if we're following up, then it's a little heavier, but cold calling, you definitely got to go a little harder to hit that 50.
So are you guys putting them in a dialer, press and go, and talking to them?
Hand dialing them.
Hand dialing them 50-50? You guys are both hunting?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, are you doing 25 and 25? Or are you both doing 50?
50
We're
each.
each going for 50.
Yeah.
50 conversations.
Yeah.
Not just calls.
Exactly.
Like, they actually have to pick up the phone
You're probably looking
and
at,
say hello
You're probably looking at $200 to get the 50 calls.
Yeah.
every single day.
Yeah.
Every single
We're
day.
set up in the garage and we sit there and we call these agents every day. And
Doesn't it get boring?
I don't know. I look at it like I'm a gardener, just putting my seeds in the ground every day. And
Right.
Just operating,
Yeah.
honestly. Just keep pounding the phone. Something good's going to happen.
So,
surely.
are you guys in the same room at the same time?
Yep,
Yeah,
we-
we're hanging in the garage. Bo's buddy lives with us as well. And
Right.
he moved down from Wisconsin. He's been hitting the phone. He got his first deal with
months
Jamil in like 2 months in,
2 months.
and he didn't even have any prior education or anything.
Right. Calling agents.
Yep.
Yep.
Now, are you calling agents that are just a list, or are they listed properties on market deals?
We go primarily off market.
Off market.
So we just get a list of agents. Astro provided us one. You can go get your own several different resources. But we just go down that and we just dial, pull the people that want to work with us. Say you get 100, 200, follow up with them in 2 weeks, and then just go back through them and then just keep stacking.
Are you following up with a text message? Are you following up with phone calls? Like, how are you building the relationships?
We're big on having a conversation.
Yeah,
Like texting just isn't really our thing, I'd say.
sure.
But we're big on like, hey, let's get them to know us. I want them answering the phone, like saying our name when they pick up the phone, not I get these calls all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So this is a great question, and this is where I combat the fact that agent deals don't make lots of money.
Yeah.
Because they do. JV deals don't make a ton of money, but agent deals can. And
Referrals.
Referral deals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially they asked, what do they mean by
100%.
off market? So guys, one of the strategies that I teach is called agent off market. And that's where we're going direct to the agent, but we're not calling on a listing. We're calling an agent cold. We're calling an agent saying, hey, look, I saw your number on realtor.com. It looks like you're a high producing agent. I'm looking for something in an original condition or needing a lot of work that hasn't hit the MLS yet. Do you have anything coming to market that I can take a look at before you list it? And that's the pocket listing. We are reaching into the realtor's pocket and we're taking the house out. Now those deals you make 30, 40,000.
Right.
In fact, we got Tabitha in the
Yes.
in the comments right now. She just ripped a $40,000 deal in Vegas on an agent deal like that. So these absolutely work. So Taylor, that's what we mean by off market. So they're getting pocket listings from agents, calling them and cherry picking the deal before it gets listed on the MLS.
Exactly.
It's referrals.
Yeah, well, it becomes a referral.
Right.
It starts off with a call.
And that is the long-term, long-lasting strategy.
Correct.
Everybody should be doing that. Everybody should be building their referral database.
Absolutely.
100%. 100%, because listen, believe it or not, there are times, and there was a long time when we weren't getting MLS deals. A long time. Because as soon as something hit the MLS, it was gone. It didn't matter if it was a terrible property or overpriced property, whatever. Now, after the market softened a little bit, there's been more opportunities. But the market will tighten up again. And if you're only getting deals from MLS, it's going to tighten up and your business it will get adjusted. Unless you have the rock in your business, the foundation, which is building a referral database.
Right.
100%.
Yeah, and guys, let me tell you this, okay? I have an office that has 100 people, over 100 bodies running around it, doing deals. These guys do deals with the people in my office all day long. Have you ever seen me at the office except when I've told you I'm going to be there? No. Okay, never. I don't even have the key card to get into my own office. I'm not joking. Like I have to call ahead and say, hey, somebody let me in. I don't even have the key card to get into my own office.
Yeah.
That's how out of my business I am.
Well, it's because you built a business.
Yes. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
How many rentals do I need to own to make $1 million a month?
Oh, gosh.
30 million or something.
Yeah.
It's stupid. How
To make
long-
$1 million a year,
How-
you have to own $30 million in real estate.
Bro, how old and fat would I be to get to that kind of revenue?
Be a long time. Be a
Old
long
and
time.
fat. Fat.
Well, building a business. Well, you built a business, but in the beginning, it was you. It was you doing this. It was you
100%.
reaching out.
Yeah.
It was you making 50 calls every single day.
Correct.
This isn't you. You weren't just giving this as theory that it'll
No.
work. You did this. This is how you built your business.
Correct.
Right. So awesome.
Let's
so
hear
you're
a role play.
Yeah. So you're calling agent. I just want to give
Yeah, I
some
love it.
sauce
I
to
love
it. You know what I mean? So you're going to be calling me. I'm an agent, and I don't have anything listed.
But by the way, guys, Brent Daniels is an agent.
yeah, I am.
Here, and I'm going to let you guys move in here a little bit so that everybody's in the shot. Let's get you guys both in the shot here. I'll move out.
Ready when you are.
Ring, ring.
Hello,
Hey, is this Brent?
this is Brent with Remax Properties. How are you?
Hey, Brent. I'm doing good. My name's Bo. I was just giving you a quick call. I was just curious if you might be able to help my brother and I out. We're trying to locate a few properties here in the Phoenix metro area. And, we're low volume guys. We're not trying to flip 30 houses a month. I was just curious if maybe you come across anything that might make sense for our 4 to 5 we're trying to pick up this year.
So you're investors?
I guess you could call me that. We're not huge on volume.
Okay, so are you looking at a specific part of town?
Yeah, I mean, I see you're here in Phoenix. I'm sort of just located in the Arcadia area, and I'm looking for something off of 40th and Indian School and up. But we're just trying to look for a single family that could use a little bit of work.
And are you buying these cash? What are you doing?
Typically, we'll go cash or hard money, but either way, that's just kind of how we do it to get a quick close.
Who do you like using for hard money?
Go with Capital Fund One pretty much every time.
No, Brocious. He's awesome. So handsome too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyway, okay, good. Yeah. Okay. Well, it sounds like you guys know what you're doing. So, what's your sweet spot? What are you looking to buy?
Anything under that 500,000 mark.
Okay.
That, could possibly make sense.
That's stuff that doesn't come up a lot. You know that. That's everybody's looking for. I'm looking for those.
Yeah, I mean, I can send you an email, just kind of narrow it down for us, so I'm not wasting your time, and then you kind of know what I'm looking for.
Sure. And are you guys what are you guys looking to do with it? Are you guys looking to sell it? Are you guys looking to hold these? Are you guys developers? What do you guys do?
Yeah, we're looking to probably put some work into it and either throw it back on the market or maybe even turn it into a nice long-term rental.
Sure. Awesome. Yeah. What is let me get your name again. What was it?
Bo Gross.
All right.
And I can shoot over my contact information just in case you want.
You've got my email in front of you?
Yeah, I just Googled real estate agents in my area and your name was the first to pop up, so I figured you were doing business.
Yeah, listen, I call a lot of people. I call people every morning, and I run across some, canceled, expired listings, and I call a lot in that area. So maybe I can run across something, and we can, I can shoot it over to you and see if it's something that you guys want to buy.
Gotcha.
Do you guys have? Can you when you send over your email, can you send a proof of funds with it?
For sure, yeah, I can send that over right away.
Just so that, when I'm talking to the sellers, they know that we're working with real people that are buying right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to waste your time, Brent.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. So you want above 500,000 in Arcadia area, Indian School, 40th Street.
Yeah, obviously.
Anywhere else?
Obviously, anywhere up there, we're down to make something work because price points are a little higher. But anywhere else in the valley, 500K or less, we're willing to take a shot.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Who do you guys like for title?
I work with Lori Roberts at Empire West over in Scottsdale.
I've never worked with her, but
she's awesome.
Empire West is I know them. Okay, good. Yeah, shoot me over a email. And are you looking for? You want me to shoot you over some potential listings? Is that what you want? Like some stuff that are already on the market?
Ideally, I'll take a look at anything that you're direct on. If it happens to be on market, I'll take a look. I can't promise you I'm going to be close to that listing price, but I'm always trying to make something work.
Okay, got it. So you just want our listings, not the stuff that's already on the market.
Insert. My brother digs through the MLS all day. So ideally anything you're direct on that's off market, I'd love to take a look at.
Okay, got it. Yeah. All right. So you guys are already on the MLS. You guys are looking for off market. Got it. Yeah. Shoot me your info and we'll be in touch.
Right on. I'll talk to you soon, Brent.
All right, cool. So I threw a couple of the things that are the big boogeyman in that, right?
Well, it was great because I love the qualifying questions you asked. Because a real investor is going to know his title company. A real investor is going to know their hard money lender. A real investor is going to have a proof of funds immediately ready. And if you're not doing business, you're going to hem and haw at those questions. You're going to stall. You're going to say, I
haven't found the right one yet.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm kind of in between.
Let me ask my business partner. That's what's going to happen. You're going to sound like a complete moron, right? So this is why you do this. This is why you role play. This is why you understand this, because these questions are going to come up. Knowing who you work with for title is important. Knowing who your lender is important. Understanding, what type of close timelines you're looking for. He asked the questions about on market or deals that are not my listings. And the response, I loved when Judd came in and took the phone from his brother and said, just so you know, my brother's on the MLS all day long looking at what's already there.
Yeah.
So send me anything that you've got that hasn't hit it yet. So he came in and understood exactly where Bo had sort of left an opening, and then he buttoned that opening up so that the agent understood exactly what they were looking for, which was phenomenal.
But I like the way that Bo did, and both ways I think
great,
would
yeah.
work, because what I like what you did is you didn't add any friction to it. You weren't like, no, I don't want that stuff. I want this specific stuff on the first call. Now, as you go, listen, you're sending me great listings. I've seen all these. These aren't the real. Do you have anything that's off market? Do you have any on the second call, the third call, the fourth? You're going to be talking to these people for the next 10, 20 years, or your staff or somebody is going to. You know what I mean? You don't have to rush all there to throw it all in there and be like, no. Don't send me on market. I see those all the time. Now, when you're a super supreme pro and have done, a bazillion times, and you can, kind of navigate that and do whatever, fine. You could be specific, but I think in the first call, just build the relationship. Have them send the email, follow up, text. I mean, anybody that's open to you and has asked those questions. And I think people would ask those questions that are really serious, especially in that area that you said that you were buying in. Guys, there's only a certain amount of things that they can throw you off with. Title company or closing attorney, proof of funds, and who is your hard money lender. You have those three things in front of you written there. You could have them on the wall. You could have them anywhere, right? They don't know. They don't know you're in a garage. They're just listening to you on the phone, and you answer those questions without a beat.
Yeah, it was
phenomenal.
I saw this one comedy sketch where this guy's getting interrogated by a cop, and all the answers the guy's giving the cop are on posters behind the cop, right? So he's like, and it was great, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you could absolutely do that. Just have little cheat sheets or notes for yourself. Robin asked a great question. How could you guys use me for proof of funds? Guys, email flipfundllc@gmail.com. flipfundllc@gmail.com. I'll shoot you a proof of funds. You need that in your hands if you're going to make calls, guys. Don't be that person who doesn't have a proof of funds in their hands. Thank you, Robin, for the question.
Minimum. Yeah. I also think, listen, I think it's good to have somebody local. You can have a couple different things. You can have Flip Fund. You can do all that. But I think if somebody's going to really come at you at who you're going to use, and somebody's name and the company they work for that's local, the top agents are going to be like, okay.
And we always kind of leave it open too. So we can always say, yeah, just depending on the property and location, we might use cash. Yeah. We might use hard money, and
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite. So I was on a coaching call on Astro the other day, and I was beating my head up against the wall because it was crazy to me how for instance, right? I'll get students that come in, they'll do 2, 3, 4, 5 deals, and then all of a sudden they just stop doing the thing that worked the first place, and then they go chase other rabbits, right? And I always tell them, look, the thing that made me super successful is I'm that monkey that understands what button I need to press to get my treat.
Me too.
Right? So I'm like, monkey press button, get treat. Monkey press button, get treat. Monkey press button, get treat. Yes, there's 10 other buttons here, but I don't press those buttons because they don't give me treats. Y'all are pressing the extra buttons. Stop pressing the extra buttons. There's one button that gives you the treat. Eat the treat. Press the button, get the treat. That's it.
Yeah.
Monkey press button, get treat. That's why I've been successful. And I've gotten over 6,000 treats in my life.
Well, millions.
Yeah, but
Millions
you know what I mean?
of treats. Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. Great job, guys.
Yeah,
absolutely incredible.
Phenomenal.
50 calls each a day, hand dialing. That is absolutely incredible. I mean, that takes most of the day.
It does.
It takes most of the day.
Guys, we've got over near 800 of you.
What else can you do? What else can you do that in your first year you go 6 figures, and then the first quarter of your second year you're already at 6 figures? You're building $1 million business in 2 or 3
think about it, like
years.
John Galan and Mahmood, they're 2 of my students, right?
Yeah.
So they're coming after Keegley.
Yeah.
So these guys, they started Snap Flip. Their goal is to franchise.
Yeah.
They're doing over 100K. They did over 100K in a week.
Yeah.
So these guys will do $500,000 in a month.
Well,
pretty soon.
they have the secret weapon though.
I mean,
Helena Wu.
Helena's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I want to get another TTP student up here before Pace gets in. and I want to hear what it would sound like
do a
having
Subto.
well, I want to hear what a direct to seller conversation sounds like. Role play.
Okay.
So do we have somebody here, TTP, anyone that would be confident on, want to get Chris back up here? Okay. So, okay, that's fine. I just want
I had Jason set up to make live calls, but he was in.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
How about I do it?
Yeah.
Because I want to hear what this sounds like.
Do you want me to call you?
You call me.
All right.
I'm grumpy.
Yeah.
I'm grumpy. I'm at my house right now, and a cockroach just walked by my foot.
Okay. Ring, ring.
What?
Hi, I'm looking for Jamil.
Why?
Hi, Jamil. My name is Brent Daniels, and I know that this call is out of the blue, but I was calling about a property I believe you own on 1212 Banana Street.
Yep. I'm here right now. How can I help you?
Yeah, I was just calling to see if you would consider an offer on your property there.
Like what? For what?
An offer on your property there. A cash offer on your property?
Oh, to sell it?
Yeah.
It's not in any condition to sell.
Well, tell me about it. Tell me more about that.
Well, a cockroach just walked by my foot. That's a little bit about what you can understand the condition of this house is like right now.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry to hear that.
Times have been tough.
Yeah. What's going on?
I've got bills. I've got a lot of bills. It's been hard to keep the house up. It's been hard to maintain. I lost my wife. She didn't die, but she should have. She walked out. And now I'm just here alone. And I've got, myself, these roaches, and ones that I smoke and ones that walk.
Oh, I am so sorry to hear that. It's that sounds really tough. If you sold this property though, where do you think you would move to next?
It's a really good question. I don't know, but I feel like if I got enough money out of my house, options would be open to me.
Sure.
So what would you pay me?
Yeah, that's a great question. Just to let you know, the way that we work is we would purchase your property cash. So there wouldn't be any bank loans. There wouldn't be any appraisals. We wouldn't have to worry about any inspections, no real estate agent fees. The best part is we buy it completely as is. So you wouldn't be responsible for putting another dollar into your property in any kind of repairs. So
would I need to do any pest control or any cleanup?
Just leave it. Absolutely leave it. All right. But for an offer like that, cash, just as simple as can be, as easy as can be, what do you think you would take for that property?
I mean, I don't even know. Honestly, I have no idea. But I know that my neighbors have all been really excited about the real estate market. They say, the guy across the street, Don, he just sold his house for $450,000. So can you give me $450,000?
I'd have to look at it. Is Don's? Do you know what condition Don's house was in? Was it in a similar condition to your property?
Don's never let me in his house because he doesn't like my hygiene. But I it's nice. They painted the outside.
Yeah. Well, listen. The price is definitely affected by the condition of the property. So, can you tell me what remodeling have you done to the kitchen and bathrooms in the last 5 years or so?
I've done none. I lost the lady of the house.
Yeah.
And so everything that would make the house feel like a home is gone. The house is just bare, needs work, smells a little bit. I smoke in here.
Sure.
But otherwise it's got good memories in it, It's got good memories.
Yeah, totally understand. But, in order to sell this, you'd have to move somewhere. Is there anywhere else that you've thought about moving?
Well,
Maybe a fresh start?
Can you buy it and let me stay?
No, I can't do that because we'd have to go and put investment into the property. It sounds like, to bring it up to, the current market and all the different upgrades and getting in and seeing what's going on with the property from a mechanical situation. I'd love to keep you in there. I would love to keep you in there, but I think we'd have to have that property vacated to be able to do the work.
Could you let me stay a couple of months after you bought it so that I could figure out where I need to go?
Absolutely. You know what? I can give you up to 30 days is our company policy. Because I just don't want to I don't want to buy a house that I know that you have nowhere else to go. So there has to be a plan in place before that for this to
Do you
really go
own
smooth
any
as
houses
possible.
that I could rent?
I don't have any rentals myself.
I don't
but
have
I can,
good credit, and so I'm worried about qualifying for a lease.
Sure.
Would you go on an application for me and help me get a rental?
Well, let me ask you this: do you know roughly about what you owe on the property?
I don't know anything.
You own it free and clear?
I own it free and clear.
Okay. So have you thought about just taking that cash and just figuring out a place that you can live for a while until you really get back on your feet and figure out where you want to live long term?
I've not thought about it. I mean, you called me out of the blue.
Yeah. I mean, I think that would be the option here if you were interested in selling that property.
So what's the next step?
Well, the next step is for us to just figure out if this is the right thing for you to do, if you really want to sell your property. I don't want to convince you of selling the property. I just want to see if you wanted to sell the property. And if you do, I can get you a really solid cash offer.
Do you need to come and look at it?
Yeah, that would be great. I'm actually in the area tomorrow at noon if you're available.
Let me ask my roach. I'll get right back to you.
Okay.
All right.
That's
great.
What'd she say?
Yeah, you
No, let's
come on
keep going a
over.
little bit longer.
Come on,
All right.
come on over.
Okay, great. And I'm looking on the computer right now. I'm looking in your area. I'm seeing what your neighbors are selling for in similar condition. It looks like it's around 190,000. Is that something you would consider?
So not the 450 that Don got?
No.
Well, I would need to talk to some people and make sure that I wasn't getting, too low of a number.
100%.
I can tell you my house isn't the same as Don's, but it's in the same block, and I don't know how big Don's house is. He did have 4 kids, so it's got to be a bigger house. But we can talk about it.
I'll tell you what, Jamil, this is what I'll do. I'll do some research tonight. I'll bring you all of the sales that have been going on in your neighborhood. I'll give you a couple different options in the way that you can sell your house. If you want to, this has to be something that you want to do. If not, no problem. We'll part as friends. I have no problem with that. But if you are truly serious about selling your property, I'll give you a few different options. If they make sense, we'll take it from there. Is that fair enough?
Sounds great.
Awesome. I'll see you tomorrow at noon.
Awesome.
All right.
See you then.
Kick that roach out, though.
He's staying.
Oh, okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, sellers may not be that comical, but they will be weird.
Yeah.
You're going to talk to all kinds of interesting people.
Yeah, I think it's real important that you don't have to fill in empty space with just talking. So I'll just stop and wait for you to say something, you know what I mean? To come up and you were stopping, waiting for me to say something. So it's just kind of a lot of questions, a lot of confirming and approving, and a lot of just seeing if it's the right thing for them. But again, those conversations typically will go there. We'll go in the appointment. They'll be nice people. We'll help them out at some point in a year or two when they're actually ready. We'll get those deals. But believe it or not, you will call people. And the Gross Brothers will let you know, wherever they went, that you'll call somebody and somebody will have a deal for you right away. You talk to enough people and the timeline for them to make a decision will be really quick.
Right.
So, yeah.
That was great. I want to keep it going here. Hopefully Pace makes his way back into the studio, but why don't we move over to another Sub-2 student? Do we have another Sub-2 family member in the house? Yeah, we got Kevin over here. Get over here, bro.
Kevin.
This guy's a G. Kevin's phenomenal. Great to see you, man. All right, have a seat. So I'm familiar with Kevin, but let's let Kevin introduce himself and tell America who he is and what's happening here. We got over almost 800 people here. First and foremost, guys, almost 800 people on this live across platforms, and very few of you have taken the time to just hit the thumb. Just hit the thumb, okay? Don't be that person that doesn't just give us that little bit. Give us that little bit. Go thumb us.
Yeah.
Okay. Kevin, what's up, bro?
I'm doing great.
Great to see you. Tell us a little bit about you and your real estate journey and what's new and how you're working right now.
So I got into real estate pretty much straight out of high school. So I got into real estate around 2019 is when I graduated and I joined Wholesaling Inc., Lauren Hardy's program.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was with her for a little bit and then I ended up joining Subto. And right now, my business, I'm focusing on the no equity deals. So I've been doing that for the past.
What do you mean when you say no equity deals?
So typically, when somebody buys a house, they get a traditional mortgage on either VA loan or FHA or conventional financing. The mortgage that the mortgage balance is a public record, so anybody can really look it up. And what I do is I go on PropStream and I literally put every house that's on the market right now, and I have 2 columns on PropStream. I have listed price and the mortgage balance, and then if it's under like 6%, if the difference is 6%, then I consider that a no equity deal. So number one, they have motivation to sell, and number two, their mortgage balance is not going to go much down, and the market's dipping even more.
Active and within 6% equity.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So active on the market.
In what markets?
Right now, I'm focusing heavy on here in Arizona.
Yep.
I just closed a deal in Vegas with Chris, and then Florida and Texas is where I'm hitting. Four states.
Awesome.
Yeah. So the reason why I like that list is because, like I said, like the homeowner has equity. I mean, has no equity, but they can't really, and their motivation to sell. There is motivation to sell, but they can't go anywhere within that unless they get a certain price.
Right. So they're trapped. Their back is against the wall. They have to get a certain price. Otherwise, they're writing a check to sell their house.
Yeah.
Which is not fun. Nobody wants to do that.
Right.
A lot of people actually walk away and let a house foreclose before they'll write a check for $20,000 to a real estate agent.
Yep.
They think, you know what? F my credit. I'm not paying 20 grand.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thought process for a lot of people. And
just done with it.
Just done with
Yep.
it. And so it's an attractive conversation the way that you approach it. Let me ask, what are you doing with these houses?
So I'm getting them under as a subject too, and the rates that I'm taking over are usually 3%. I've seen like 2.5%.
So 2 to 4%.
Yeah, 2 to 4%.
That new asset class I was talking about. So 2 to 4% mortgages. And are you keeping these? Are you wholesaling them?
Usually, the last 7 or 8 of them I just wholesale to other investors.
How much do you make on a wholesale fee?
My average assignment right now is $14,000 and like $300.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
For sub-2 deals.
4 sub-2 deals. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And which sub-2 deals do you want to keep?
I'm honestly not. We talked about this earlier. Like, it's you have to know the phaseology that you're in. Like for me, like I want to build up the active income and have more cash reserves.
Yes.
But obviously, like later down the road, I'll be keeping some of them to my portfolio. But right now, I'm just wholesaling.
You're just getting rich.
Understand this. It's a different business. There's 3 types of real estate businesses: buy and hold, fix and flip, and wholesale. All right. If you try to build them all at the same time, I am telling you, it is going to be the most frustrating period of your professional career, because you're going to be chasing all of these things down and doing none of them perfectly. Build up your bank account. Build up a big, healthy, heavy bank account like you were talking about, like I was talking about, where you actually build a business that can perform without you, that is a servant to you, that gives you passive cash flow, and then decide which properties that you want to pick and which markets you want to buy in.
Right.
And that's powerful. It keeps you from buying a lot of properties that'll drag you down, because rental properties can be a weight around your neck.
Right.
If you're buying the wrong property in the wrong place at the wrong time.
It's like what you said, Jamil. Like, if it's like, why would you stop what's already working? So if you're wholesaling it and you're on the roll, just keep wholesaling.
Push the button.
Monkey press button.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll never forget that. I wanna have you press the button here real quick, but before we do that, there's a couple of questions that we have in the chat that I want you to answer. So Carl Kaiser, thank you for the question, Carl. Carl asked, are you worried about the home value dropping after you buy it with no equity?
No, I wouldn't be. I would not be. I would not be worried.
Why
because,
are you not worried about it?
Because you're buying a fixed interest rate. You're buying the 2 to 4% asset class.
Buying the payment.
You're buying the payment, and your rents are only going to go up, and your payment is only is going to be the same.
Rents are actually dipping a little bit right now. That's a true thing. They're not dipping a lot, but they are dipping a little bit. So
they went bananas.
But they did go bananas.
It's the same thing.
But
we went up 44% in value in Phoenix, and we gave back 15-20%.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Same with rents.
But if you're looking at a 2 to 4% note, you're still going to have a relatively low payment. Yeah. Right. And so the way that you're talking about it, Kevin, is your buyer, even if rents dip 10%, they're still going to be able to cash flow the property.
Yes. Yep.
So there's a very low risk of default there. Mm-hmm. But also you're wholesaling these, so you're out of the deal.
I'm out of the deal. I get my money.
It's not even your problem at that point.
Yeah.
Not that you don't care. Of course you care, because you're the person who talked to the homeowner. You're the person who created and structured the deal. And so they're going to call you if something happens. If something goes wrong, Kevin's getting call number one.
Right.
Because you wholesaled it. They may not even realize that you sold it to somebody. They may just come to title, sign the document, and just remember the nice Asian guy that they sold the house to. But they're not going to remember the fact that there was another entity on the documents. They never met that person. They met you. Right. And so that's, I think, the piece of this that's going to be a little bit interesting. Right. And so knowing this, I'd love to hear how this conversation goes. You want to take it, Brent?
Yeah.
All right. So monkey, press button, get treat. Go.
Yep.
So wait, is it me cold calling a real estate agent?
Okay. Yeah.
Perfect. Ring.
Hello.
Hey, is this Brent?
Yes.
Hey, Brent, this is Kevin. How's it going?
Good. How are you, Kevin?
I'm doing phenomenal. Hey, I was calling about the listing that you had on the 1212 Banana Street here in Phoenix.
Yes.
I was just curious to see if you have it available. If it's moving.
It is definitely available.
Oh,
yes.
It's definitely available?
Yes.
Is it not moving or just getting a lot of lowball offers?
I don't, it's a really tight deal. So it's going to really take the right buyer to come in and buy this. And I'm hoping it's you.
Well, what do you mean it's like a tight deal?
There's just not a lot of equity in it. So, we either need to get list price or they're just going to have to figure something out.
Got it. So you guys have it listed for around $350.
Yeah.
And you guys have and at the full price, if you guys get a full price, you guys will probably make a little bit of money or break even.
Yeah, they're getting real close to break even. There's a little bit of wiggle room, but not much.
Got it. Do you know roughly how much your seller's looking to net if they got like a full price offer?
Yeah, I think they're going to basically be breaking even.
Got it.
That's great.
Oh.
In the middle of the role play. Yes. That's my uncle. Okay. Ferdinand.
Yeah. So you guys will break even at the 350 that you guys have it listed for. Yeah. So here's the thing is I just closed on a deal here in Phoenix.
Okay.
Where the homeowner was a veteran. He bought the house with his wife, and then and 6 months later his wife passes away, and he wants to move out of the house because he has bad memory with the house.
Sure.
So and it was the same situation like you, where your seller has to get a certain amount of offer, or else they have to cut a check.
Right.
So what we did in that situation, we just gave him around $5,000, and we cover your full we cover the full listing commission, and just took over the payment on that house. Would your seller be open to
take it
something?
over like a lease?
No.
They signed a lease agreement or something?
No. So we'll just take over the existing mortgage payment that's already on there.
Oh, I don't know if it's an assumable loan.
Yes.
I'd have to check on that.
Yeah. So we won't be technically assuming the mortgage. We'll just come in and take over the payment and make the payments on behalf of the seller.
So you wouldn't be getting a new loan on it?
No, it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense for us to get a 7% loan unless we come in really, really low offer.
Okay.
So
wait, you can just take over a loan?
Yes.
And then how do commissions get paid?
Well,
not to sound
greedy,
but this is my job, so how does that work?
So we'll give the seller a little bit of cash in their pocket.
Okay.
And then you're listing your 3% commission. We'll pay that on closing. So you get your full commission. Seller gets a little bit of money in their pocket, and I'll get to leverage the low interest rate that's already on there.
Oh, okay. So the loan is still in my client's name?
Yeah, that's correct.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, we've been sitting on the market for a while. I mean, I guess I could try to explain this. Is there something that you could send to me, or something in that I can present, or maybe I could just like schedule a meeting where we can all sit down and go over the option?
Yeah. So what I can do is I can give you the list of all the houses that we closed in the last 4 to 8 weeks this year.
Okay.
And then maybe I'll give you some reference points. You can talk to the realtors. You can talk to my title companies. You can talk to the sellers, even if you want. And if you feel comfortable, and if you think this would be a good fit for your client, maybe we can move forward with it.
And this goes through title, right?
Oh yeah, this goes through title. We get title policy, and everything gets paid through title.
And what was your name?
My name is Kevin.
Kevin, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I like it. I I mean, it makes sense on some level. I just didn't think that you could take over a loan. But yeah, send me your information, and I think what I'll do is I'll read it and try to filter it out and figure it out and talk to my client and just see if they'd be open to. I mean, bottom line is you would be taking over their loan, but they
Right.
wouldn't have to make the payments.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just talk to them about that and see what they say, and maybe we can make something happen here because
Yeah.
not much is happening.
Yeah. So I can send you guys like a email of how this deal looks like.
Okay.
So you can just present it to your client, and if your client has
I
any
might
other
need your help
questions-
on this, Kevin, to be honest. I mean, I might need you to sit down and explain it to both of us.
Yeah.
And maybe my broker. I don't know what they'll feel about this, but
Yeah.
that'd be good.
Yeah. I'll be happy to do that.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kevin.
Bye.
Bye.
Great job.
Awesome.
Kevin, how do people get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me through Instagram. My Instagram is KevinCho12, KevinCho12.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
We'll put it
Awesome.
in the chat, guys, and we'll also put the Gross Brothers IG in the chat, and we'll also put Chris's IG in the chat so you guys can make sure that you follow everybody that you saw on today's live stream. But let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
Kevin, it was great to see you. We got Pace back. What's up,
I hope
Pacer?
you guys like the role play. If you guys, a sticking point for a lot of people is objections, or at least objections that we hallucinate, or maybe we even run into them. I think most of the time we hallucinate objections, but sometimes there are real objections that get thrown at us, and that's just a question in the mind of the property owner and or the agent. So if you have any of those, we've got 23 minutes here to answer some objections
Well,
that might
I've
pop
got
up.
one that I think we should do here.
Okay.
Because I teach the art of the retrade.
Yeah.
And that's where you're in the deal. And say, for instance, your buyers aren't enjoying the number. They don't like it. The house needs way more work than what you originally anticipated it needed.
Yeah.
And you got to renegotiate. Or say you're making a really small fee on the deal, and now you've got to retrade it, and you want to have that conversation. And I've got a couple of students that have done a phenomenal job of retrading and can have that conversation.
Yeah.
And since you guys probably both have had these conversations, or
Yeah.
I think we should bring them up and let them have why don't we just pivot right now into what does it sound to have a retrade conversation?
Okay. Cool.
What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get the trainers up here.
Trainers, come up here. You guys got my seat.
Yeah.
Here,
No.
You stay, I'm staying.
No, it's your people. All right, boys, you're right here. These are your mics. Brent's gonna role play with you. Talk dirty to me.
All right, so we are going to pitch after the contract renegotiation. So you guys locked up a deal, and now you got to get it lower, okay? And I'm the agent, and we're gonna run you through it.
Let's
all
do it.
right? So I'll start. Who's starting?
I'll start.
All right.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Brent, this is Dylan Tran. I know we just locked up that deal the other day.
Yeah. What's going on? Let's get this thing closed.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely need to get it closed. After checking it out, had our inspector walk through it. It's coming back that came in a bit high on this deal.
Okay. What are we talking about high? Because I thought we had a as is deal here.
Right,
I
yeah.
thought we were going to move forward and get this thing closed as soon as possible. That's why we took your offer, is because it was an as is deal.
Yeah, I know we're not going to be asking for any repairs. I'm just saying right now, bids are coming in a bit tight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm running my numbers, seeing where we can for sure close this deal at. But I just wanted to call and let you know, might have overshot this one a little bit.
My seller is going to freak out. Okay, they're going to freak out.
Yeah, I get it.
I went to the table and I said, we talked and you said that you could get this thing closed as is, real smooth, and that's why we took your offer. That's why, we were listed at 350,000. We're down at 260 because you guys said that it could happen. Now you're saying you need to get it lower?
Yeah.
Like what price? What price are we talking about?
So I feel like I always make the initial call first and then like a little bit later go tell them the actual
Yep.
numbers. Just
Okay.
kind of like set it up. like let them know what's actually going on.
Okay, so how much do you need to get it for? And you say, we're not sure yet. We'll get back to you.
Yeah, not sure yet. Hey, I still want to
Let
close
him
this deal
settle
on
down.
time. Yeah,
Let him
I
settle.
completely
Nice.
understand. I said as is. I know it came in at that price that everyone wanted.
Okay.
But I'm going to go confirm with everything and see what we can still do to get this done on time.
Okay. So, well, I guess call me back when you know a price. You know.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to go check on that right away.
I mean, I
see
feel
what
like
we can do.
if I put it on back on the market at the price that you got it for, it's going to fly. I mean, there's going to be so many offers on this thing. I mean, it's going to be crazy. But
Right.
whatever. Do your research.
Yeah, I'll go. I'm going to go check it out. I know it's not what everyone's looking for, but I'll give you a call back in a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. And then
Wait.
No, we're not done yet.
No, he's
Yeah.
double calling. I love that though. Give him a little space. I don't know what it's going to be. Give him a little space. Don't give it to him. Don't give him that price on that first call. Let him simmer about it. Let him call the client. Let him get the feedback. Get the anger out. Get all the emotions out. Now call me, and I'm gonna. Yeah, my anger's out. Yeah.
ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Brent, it's Dylan.
Hey. Yeah. So what's going on? What are we looking at?
So yes, yeah, I know I said we're gonna close 275. Still close on the 23rd this month. I just got confirmation we're still good to go, but I need this at 245.
245. So you need 30 grand off.
Yep, and we can close on time still.
Is it because of the roof?
Yeah, the roof pool
Yeah.
needs the full works.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Termites don't help.
Listen, I talked to my client. Obviously they're not happy, but they need to get this done. You know what I'm saying? They need it to happen. And so I think if we can get like you got to help me out here. They said they didn't want to go any lower than 245. At 245, I think I can make it happen. But 235 is just going to be too low. I'm going to have to just put it back in the market or call some of these other buyers that showed interest.
So you think 235 is like a no-go?
Yeah, I'm going to need at least 245 out of it.
Got it. Do you think I'm going to go check. I'm going to give you another call back.
Okay. Yeah.
I've done this. Yeah.
Good.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So ring. Hey,
Hello.
Brent. Hey, Brent.
Yep.
Hey.
Now, but between that call and this call, though, and you're looking at a deal and you know that you can make 5 instead of 15, are you going to take that deal or are you going to take the chance of it being gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, you take the deal, guys. You take the deal. If it's at 245, and hopefully 245 was your number, and you went 235. So you know what I mean? So anyway, okay.
Hey, Brent.
Yeah.
Hey, I just went and confirmed with everything.
Yep.
We're good to go. I know they really want 245. What I can do, we can still close on time, but I need it at 240.
240. Yeah, I just can't go lower than 245. It's just not going to happen. I mean, I went to bat for you. This is way lower than we thought we'd be on this. They want to go. I think it's a really smoking deal. So it's going to have to be 245.
Got it. I did, when I went out and walked it,
Mm-hmm.
I did walk it with the buyer just in case this were to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my brother, we're not going to take down this one.
Mm-hmm.
I do have someone that can still close on time at 245.
Okay.
So I am going to sign this deal.
Yeah. Great.
You cool with that?
Yeah. Let's
Cool.
just get it closed, man.
Yeah, let's just get it closed.
You know, we this is supposed to be fast and easy, and let's get it closed and we can do some more.
Yeah, so not me, but if we're closing this deal, I'm just going to sign this one.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
All right.
That was rough. But that was, I mean,
That's how those calls are. They're rough.
those are rough calls.
You never walk out of those calls feeling like, oh, that was nice.
Right.
That was easy.
Right.
It's not a Staples conversation.
No. That was awesome.
Thank you.
I love the way that you pause. Don't get too much into it. I would, if you're going to, just make sure you could sell it at the price that you get the price reduction. Everybody knows that, right?
Yeah.
Don't get a price reduction and then hope that you can sell it. Like, get feedback from your buyers to know exactly what price they can buy it at. That's awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Good job, guys.
Come join us. Growth Summit 2023. Growth Summit 2023. April 15th and 16th. Join us. Join us. You will be in the room with the absolute best wholesalers from around the country. You're going to be in the room with us three and Henry Washington, Tom Kroll, and Todd Tobeck. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. And whoever else you're going to throw on stage.
Vina Jetty, you got to have a woman on that stage, bro.
Yeah. There
you got to have a woman. We need women leaders in this industry. You know what I'm saying?
There we go.
You got to even it out. Got to bring that hot, awesome.
I just love that we're gonna have a brown woman on the stage.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's I mean, look, she's a minority and she's a female and she's a beast in the real estate game. I mean, she's dominating multifamily. Very close friend of Pace's.
Awesome.
I've become close to her as well, and I think she's just an incredible human being. So I'm excited to hear her.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
There was a great question here talking about what is the amount of money. Okay. Director 97 says, when you wholesale, is there a max amount of money you can make on a deal like realtors are making 3 to 6%?
No.
You can make as much as you want.
No.
What's the biggest assignment fee you've ever gotten, or biggest wholesale deal you've ever done?
158.
How about you, Pace?
119.
276.
Yeah.
That must have been direct to seller, right?
It was.
Oh, was direct to
It
seller?
was direct to seller, yeah. Yeah. It was
Amazing.
direct to seller. It was on a piece of land in Chandler.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a school and there was a church. And I got 4 acres of land in right off of Germain
Wow.
under contract. And we got it at $1 million and assigned it at 1.27 something. It was 276,000.
A sign or double close?
It was assigned.
Yeah.
It was because it was a development company buying it. They had no problem.
Yeah.
They could care less. Yeah.
What a great
Awesome.
question. I think that's one of the reasons why Monique Walker will do both, right? She's like, why would I limit myself as an agent to only making a commission here? How does she do it? I know we've done other episodes with her, but how is she typically doing that?
What's interesting is Director 97 asked, is there a max amount? Director 97, this is a myth. It's a myth that agents are maxed out at 6%. That's not true.
Nope.
In fact, real estate agents don't have a cap on how much money they can make. A real estate agent can make a 10% commission. They can make a 20% commission. In fact, I've been in a deal with Monique where we made $30,000 on a $100,000 house. Okay, now I split all of my fees with Monique, so she took home $15,000 on that $30K. But think about it, right? She made 15%. I did another deal with her. Pace and I were driving to Atlanta where we made $100,000. That was the one that was just down the street from your house on 3rd Avenue over here. Remember that little deal? It was covered in poo. So that house we made over $100,000 on, and we bought the house for around $100,000. So she made 100% commission. 100% commit, bro.
Yeah.
And there's no cap. There's no law. There's no cap. There's nothing there. It's all about the mentality of the realtor you're working with and how they perceive themselves and what they're going to allow themselves to make. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Here's a good question. Mark Bennett, how do you convince a seller or a real estate agent there is no risk at allowing a new Subto buyer to take over house payments and that I won't just stop making payments, ruining the seller's credit? This is a lot to unpack, but let's just keep it very simple. First and foremost, we are not calling unmotivated sellers. Okay. I'm not going down to your grandma's house and saying, hey, grandma, will you let me take over your payments? That is not what we're doing. Let me ask you a better question. How are you as a wholesaler convincing a homeowner to give you a property 40 cents on the ARV? How are you doing that? Well, you're finding motivation, aren't you?
Well, you're not convincing anything.
You're not.
Deal finders, not deal creators.
There you go.
That's
I'm
it.
not trying to convince anybody of anything. I am finding motivation, and I'm going and speaking and providing benefits that are catered to those people that have those specific benefits or those motivations. So somebody that's behind on their payments typically is a Subto seller, or somebody has lack of equity. Subto right now is a requirement for a lot of people. Okay. I have 15 deals in the pipeline just from this last week. I will acquire in my portfolio close to 500 deals this year. These are sellers. You went to an appointment with me. How much did that seller want for taking over his payments? Was it a piece of crap house? Was it a seller in a bad situation? Was he broke? Did I have to convince him anything? No. The seller had motivation. He was moving and he had no equity. So find people that are low on equity if you're trying to buy sub-2 deals. Low equity, expired listings where agents have already. Here's the thing also, is if I'm going after an expired listing list, who has already told the seller that their property is not worth what they think it's worth? Who is
the market? The entire market has told them. America has told them that their house is not worth what they were trying to list their house at.
Right. So I'm not trying to convince them. I let somebody else convince them. And their real estate agent also, when you're talking to an agent after 4 months or 5 months on the market, do I really have to convince the agent of anything? No. The agent might need a little bit of education, which is not a problem. Okay. And then on top of that, when you want to talk about the mechanics of how do I keep a seller protected, it's called a performance clause. We put it in all of our contracts. If the buyer ever defaults on that property, when I assign a sub-2 deal, okay, let's say I'm assigning it and I'm going to wholesale a deal. I put in the contract that states if that buyer on the sub-2 deal ends up defaulting, I have first right of refusal to come in, reiterate or redo the deal and go sell that to somebody else and never harms the seller whatsoever. If a buyer is 31 days late, I can take that property back, all because of the way I structure my paperwork. You get attorneys involved, you get the right paperwork, you are protecting the seller, the buyer, and you are putting yourself in a situation. We call this the double dip strategy in sub-2, or the party after the party. Okay. I get a sub-2 deal. I assign the deal in my paperwork, in my note and deed of trust that gets recorded on the property. It states that if any default happens, I get the property back and I have first right of refusal. I can go around and assign it again if I want to. So here's the cool thing. In some weird way, I almost want my buyer to default so that I can go and double dip and sell it again. I'm not trying to avoid things. I set it up in the event that it does happen. Everybody's protected, and I also benefit in the worst case scenario.
Awesome. We've got an incredible comment on the screen right now that I think we need to talk about. So Director 97 says that he got arrested for illegal brokering. I actually had a post on my social media the other day where I talked about illegal brokering and how important it is for understand the instruments and the tools that we use, and also that you understand the laws in your state. Because I'm gonna imagine this can't be Illinois, because if it was Illinois, you're allowed to do one assignment, and then you need to have a real estate license. This I'm gonna guess, before we see what state he's in, I'm gonna guess that this person is in Philadelphia. Where you need a wholesaler's license in order to do the business. That's going to be my guess, but we're going to see what he says.
Well,
I'm not
else
sure
do you
yet.
need a license?
Look, son of a B. Okay, so that is the law there.
Yeah.
Okay, Director 97, that's the law.
So what's the solution?
So the solution is to use transactional funding and take title to the deal. The DA is right. In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, you are not all of Pennsylvania, but in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, you're required to have a wholesaler's license in order to wholesale. And so they're probably.
Do you know what you need to get? What you need to get that?
It's like
you pay a
$200.
fee.
Right.
You pay a fee,
right,
and you register with the state.
I think you have to go through TTP and pay $200 certification, something like that.
So what you have to do, Director 97, is you're definitely going to. You're probably going to pay a fine. There might be some legal implications. This is why it's really important, guys, that you understand the laws in your state. In Philadelphia, specifically in Pennsylvania, this is a real thing. And so be aware, Western Pennsylvania. Okay, it must have moved. The law must have grown into Western PA because I understand that in Philadelphia, at least, you require a wholesaler's license. In Western Philadelphia or Western Pennsylvania, it sounds like you do as well. Check the state. He did have 2 closing attorneys that should have told him, though. They should have told him that you're required to have a license. Somebody ratted you out and let somebody know that you were doing something that you needed a license for. In order to have not had this happen to you, Director 97, you should have used transactional funding, taken title to the deal, and then sold it the same day or the next day.
This is honestly, I hate to be a self-promoter here, but this is why I started the Gator training last year. is because I saw this happening and I see what happened with the state of Arizona. What do we have to have on our contract, by the way?
A disclosure.
Yep.
And I have the best disclosure ever, by the way. Have I read to you the disclosure that I put on all my contracts?
All I know is that it has to be verbatim from what's on the state's website.
It's even better than what's verbatim on the state's website. So I say, buyer is a LLC in the business of buying and selling real estate for a profit. During the inspection period, buyer may use any exit strategy in order to accomplish this means, be it buy and hold, fix and flip, and or wholesale. Buyer reserves all rights to a signed contract in the inspection period, and it's on every single contract that I write.
So why is this important, guys? So there's a deal, okay? It's acquisition guy on my team 2 years ago. Now has his own wholesale operation. Okay, what he was doing is he was billing our company overtime, but what he was really doing is working on his own wholesale operation on company time. Kudos to him. So what ends up happening is about a year and a half later, we get in touch. This is a direct-to-seller lead, comes up about 2 months ago, and my team says, hey, this lady's going to foreclosure, and the wholesaler attached to it put a memorandum on the property, and he's not picking up the phone unless somebody's willing to pay him $10,000 to walk away.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, a couple of things. We did a great episode about memorandums with Sean St. Clair about a year and a half ago, where you have to file the memorandum and your contract has to give you permission to file a memorandum, or else the memorandum is null and void. It does not exist. So he did that incorrectly, but he did file a copy of his purchase contract. In his purchase contract, it did not give a statement saying that I intend to wholesale. And we got a judge involved, and they removed it from. They removed the memorandum in 24 hours. We had an emergency, paid like $1,800 to have this happen. Removed it, closed the deal, saved the lady from foreclosure. Guys, if it's happening in Arizona, it's going to only get worse in Arizona with wholesale laws. You need to learn about transactional funding. You need to learn about double closing. Okay, that it's going to be more and more and more prevalent.
Or get a license.
Or get a real estate
license if it's required. But we ran into somebody that's putting memorandums on properties.
You're talking about a couple of years ago or now?
Into everything. Put it out last year. They have right now, and we've been talking to him because my acquisition manager, Brian, was a former cop, and so he was just getting going. He loves it. He does not like getting bullied around by people that are just going to lock up a property, double the value, and then ask for $10,000. Right? That's what their strategy is.
Yeah.
They have 21 lawsuits going on right now.
That same company?
Same person.
Is it the same people from a couple years ago that are doing it?
No.
Different one.
Yeah.
Man, I swear there's like some guy that's teaching how to do this because it's a disease.
There's a part of me that feels like, I don't want anybody to get in trouble for libel or anything, but there at some point there's got to be a blacklist.
Yeah,
we've got to have some secret website where we out these pieces of crap that are out there preying on folks.
Yeah,
and hosted by some anonymous site, anonymous party that nobody could get sued for. But there's got to be a blacklist, guys, because stuff like this is just unacceptable.
Yeah,
unacceptable. They're preying on the public. They're doing everybody a disservice, and they need to be outed.
Well, the problem is it's only going to bring more regulation, which I actually am a fan of. I'm a fan of. I think wholesaling being regulated is amazing.
Yep.
It makes the good players even make more money. And if you're going to play dirty and you're going to do these things to sellers, you should be out of the industry.
Yep.
It's like a Subway sandwich franchise using like old ingredients and getting away with it. It's like, dude, what? You're going to make people sick. Not a Subway, bro. The ingredients are fresh.
Jared's a stand-up guy.
Is he?
Oh, yeah.
What happened to him?
Old school. Wow.
What happened to him?
He went to jail for being a molester.
Are you kidding me?
No. Yeah. He had his way with a couple tuna fish subs. Anyways, let's keep it going.
Wow. So Pennsylvania, huh?
Yep.
So he should have double closed the deal. So they came along and arrested.
Well, he had a DA that had an axe to grind and just dragged him through it.
Here's what it is. Somebody is lobbying with the district attorney.
Yeah.
That could be the National Association of Realtors that have a lot of money, and they're writing a check and they're looking for these types of transactions.
Yeah, it's NAR.
Yeah, and what they're doing is they're looking at recorded transactions and they're going back and they're probably the ones that are calling these homeowners and saying, hey, it's possible that somebody just wholesaled this property looking at public record. There's a chunk of money that's not being accounted for here. Let's go dig into this. Can you show me your contract? And what they're doing is they're getting these people arrested, getting the fines, doing all this kind of stuff, and they're cracking down because there's some bad actors running around in Pennsylvania like a bunch of knuckleheads.
And guys, again, remember, there's lots of opportunities for transactional funding. You got Gator lenders in the chat. My company will do transactional funding. If you're in Pennsylvania and you need transactional funding, it's a point. Dude, your deal was $25,000. Okay, I would have funded that for a point. Okay, which means I would have taken what is a point on 25,000? No, I would have done, my minimum's $1,000. I would have charged you $1,000 to wire in the 25 grand. And then you would have wired me back 26 grand on the same day, and you would have made 14,000 instead of 15,000. That's how that gets done. That's it.
And you would have avoided the cost.
And you're going to avoid the cost. You're going to avoid this entire situation that you're dealing with. But, I really appreciate the fact that you are here and talking about this, because you brought to light a conversation that's important for everyone to have. And it's really good here, that it's really good direction. I wish we knew your name, but it's really good that you're here, sharing with us what's happening in your world. Thank you for that.
Oh, he actually had a judge say he did nothing illegal who represented the one party. That's great.
Yeah, and hopefully you'll set a precedent in your state or in your county that will then be used, and then this type of aggressive legal action won't happen again. So you're going to be the guinea pig, but do well.
Great role plays today. Thank you guys.
Great job, guys. Amazing.
Sorry to everybody that didn't get on.
Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
We really wanted to get everybody in. It was just a hard thing with time. We wanted people on the calls, but great show. Before we get out of here, Brent, tell us again, where is your event and how can people find it?
April 15th and 16th, Growth Summit 2023. Growth Summit 2023. We have room for about 100 more people.
Okay.
We've got almost 400 registered and paid. And we opened up the room to get to 500. And then that's it. We're at full capacity.
Easy.
Full capacity. So make sure you guys do not wait around for 2 weeks. Do not wait around until the last day. Make sure that you register and get in that room. It's going to be absolutely incredible. That's it. Great show, guys.
We out.
We out.
Later.
Love you guys.